Morning, folks. I took this photograph, oh, God, 20, 30 years ago. 30 years ago. It's a road near Diss on the Norfolk Suffolk border, inland, very beautiful. But what really attracts me are these trees here. I've done a watercolour of that not long after I did the painting, which is still on my friend Elka's wall, and she's just in front of her daughter there with Brahms, the dog, the Yorkshire, no, it's a black and grey Airedale. Lovely dog. He was very placid, but did not like black dogs. He was always after black dogs. Had a thing about them. Right, so a couple of oak trees are. So I've got cadmium yellow deep, was cadmium yellow pale, cadmium yellow deep, uh, cadmium red, ultramarine, and black. I'm just going to pull my blind down a little bit here. There's a bit of light coming in from the right. I'll just take a little bit of that light out. It might. This is being lit up, this bit here, slightly by a bit of light. So, got a cup of tea. I'm not going to copy this. I'm just going to use it as a guide for those trees. I'll invent a sky and a landscape, but I want a low horizon. But these trees, the way the prevailing wind has caught them. So a bit of a hedgerow. I won't put the road in. I don't like the road. Right, I'm using up bits and pieces. I'm using up my refined linseed oil. I want to see how long it takes to dry because I've got it. I got it cheap at some rather large art emporium in Truro several years ago. They were selling a lot of stuff off less than the retail price. And I thought, well, it mixes very well with the alkyd, but the alkyd is expensive. Anybody got any suggestions in the UK for a good supplier of walnut alkyd oil, alkyd walnut oil, which I've been using? I'll show you. Where's my bottle? Oh, there we go. This seems to be the one, M. Graham and Company. Now, apart from America. So if anybody knows a good, cheap supplier on eBay in the UK that will supply that at a reasonable price and no postage, of course, I'd be grateful because it's a very good stuff. But I don't like using a lot of it because I know I didn't pay for it. My friend David Dickinson sent it to me because he no longer uses oil or watercolour. He just sticks to acrylic. Right, I just want to turn the controls off. I've got it set up as best I can. Right, here we go. So let's put in some. Well, put in some what? Sky. Just get other brushes here. It's nice. This inch flat, Chinese. Oh no, can't use that. No. Right, bear with me. I'm just going to stick that in the pot of glue, and the PVA glue. If you're going to do oils, you're sort of fairly beginner. You haven't really got yourself sorted out yet. I would recommend you getting a big pot of wood glue, PVA glue, and it's very, very useful, particularly as a thinner, but about 1-to-1 I'm using. Depends on the thickness of what you've got, what you buy, but it's so useful for priming paper, watercolour paper that is. MDF, 2mm MDF, which I'm using, which is fairly inexpensive. To keep things, you don't need to buy hundreds of colours. That is a fault that beginners make. I think, oh, they see me and they think, oh, I'll go out and buy some paints, and they see a set of paints, 20 colours, most of which you will never use. Stick to buying single tubes of paint that are recommended. They're easy to mix and not fancy colours. That's for later, like your sky blue pinks and all that, and your pink browns. Stick to the basic colours and find out how to mix them. You can make a. I've got 4 colours here plus black, 4 colours, and I can make a whole range of tones. And the black just extends the yellow, the greens, a very useful toner colour. And where your penny if you're sitting down. Right, okay, so let's dip in with the oil, bit of blue, lump of white, plenty of oil. Just want to cover that. I was cleaning, I was drying this with a hairdryer yesterday with the acrylic, and I got the hairdryer too close to the damp. I put a bit of polyfiller, some plaster repair stuff, and I hit it with the hairdryer and it scraped it, so I had to repair the hole. That's why it's a different colour. It's white rather than what the rest of it is. So just get a bit of colour on. You do need some thinner. I have to watch my breathing with all the solvents, so I don't use white spirit, which I don't think is a very good material, good solvent for roughing in, mainly because it can make your bristles and your brushes go hard. So use oils, alkyd oils. Now, I want this big horizon. This is just an initial lay-in. Hopefully, the white is an alkyd-based Griffin, Winsor & Newton Griffin. That's the one colour that I do use extensively for. It helps other colours to dry because of the alkyd resin. Don't try to do a finished painting at the beginning. Don't work on one bit of it and get it perfect at the expense of the rest. Go over the whole painting and work away. Also, it gives you a chance to go a bit tacky. Now, just bring in a bit of red and a bit of the cad yellow, deep, plenty of white, plenty of oil, just to put in a bit of a light horizon. Loads and loads of oil. I used to know Laszlo Ritter, who was a great artist born in Hungary, came over here in the Troubles, and was very well known. He's dead now, sadly. He showed me how to do water for the Venice paintings we were doing for a gallery in Oxford. Lovely man, but he had illness problems, as we all do. Now I'm going to invent a sort of a foreground. That's the basics. Now, so you can see there's the light shining on that bit there. I could bring my board round a bit. I think I will. Let's just a touch. Bear with me while I move things. Just to get that glare. Oh, that's a bit better. All right, let's move the camera around. That needs to go that way. Well, I'll leave that. I'm not going to do too much fiddling around with the webcam. It seems to be performing okay now. So what I've got is half of my adjustments on the colour, intensity, gain, exposure are on automatic now, which leaves 3 other adjustments I can make as we go along if need be, if it's too bright. But I'll soon say if it's too bright, I'll take the tone down. I'll just move my half screen over. There we are. Right, so a bit of texture on the foreground, background. So let's put in some bluish trees now. A bit of oil, bit of blue, bit of black, toner, bit of toner. I call it toner because it just enhances the other colours. Plenty of blue. So let's put in some background. Don't want to come up too high with this. That's just a background of distant trees, and in that we'll have a meadow, I think. But I want to put these trees coming up here on this side. So, but if it doesn't end up as I first planned, it's because I'm making it up and things take on a life of their own. So let's get that. Don't try and paint individual blades of grass in a 30,000 acre field. It will take years and you'll get fed up. I use old brushes just to do this. Laszlo used to use really beaten up brushes to do the most fantastic painting, but he could paint in any style. He was a wonderful, wonderful, lovely man, wonderful artist. A bit of black in there. See that immediately goes to a green, sort of an acid green. Holding the brush at arm's length. Well, more or less. So that's the paper covered, or the support covered, because it is, you can't call it paper now because it's got about 3 coats of PVA glue on it, 2 on one side, 1 on the back, to keep it nice and flat. Let's see, we've got something going on now. I'll go back to the top of that sky. That's my sky brush. Drink my tea, don't forget. Oh, this is great fun, isn't it? Friday morning, sun shining, done some chores, cleaned the car, cooked the breakfast, put the cat out, emptied the clean, washed out the drain, been up to the chemist, get the old prescriptions, keep the chest going fine, and here talking to you. Now, what can be better than that, eh? So let's go back with the sky, blue, plenty of oil. Just put it on and then you can blend it later. I'm working my way to doing a sort of Arthur Madison. He's one of my favourite impressionist painters, modern impressionist. Google him, Arthur, Arthur Madison, Maderson, an Irish painter, wonderful impressionist. His early stuff anyway, I think he got fed up with doing all the little dibs and dabs. Got some mauve colour in there. And his brushwork is much more slurred now. Still lovely. Now we want some lighter blues down on the horizon, or coming down. I'm not working to any design, I'm working till something happens, as it inevitably does. But I love low horizons and lovely colour in them. So we can come into those distant trees. Oh, that's very wet now. But I came down up a bit too high with those trees, but that's why I'm taking them out now. So a bit of red, bit of yellow. And that can all be blended to soften before we get into the heavy stuff. Okay, need that bit more in there. Cover up where I've gone up too high with the trees. You have so many options with oil painting and acrylic painting. Right, now then, let's just soften that in there. Some misty, the great yonder. There's no detail on the in the distance. All right, let's just soften around here. You don't always have to paint in heavy impasto with oil or use up all your expensive paints. You can create wonderful effects with oil, which I'm trying to do. Right, let's look at that. Let's finish my tea. Right, I'm going to put some more clouds in on here. So white, cad yellow, deep. Look at that. And all it is just colour on a bit of board. Don't always hold your brush like that. You can hold your brush how you like, but if you hold it like that, you seem to be in more control of it. But it does take a little bit of getting used to. I want some light blue going up there underneath that. And don't put too much paint out. Don't squeeze out. You won't. If you're working like this, you won't use a lot. Just a tiny amount. But I'm working from big tubes, mostly big tubes. camera's right in front of my face at the moment. What you don't want is white. You want colour in your clouds. You can go very light without actually being white. Okay, then we go back onto the let's lighten that up with a bit of blue. Once you darken on the horizon there, because I don't want to lose the contrast between the light and the dark, so we'll sort that out. Right, so let's put in some of that. Plenty of now I'm holding it like a pen. A bit of green, really. And red. Right, let's get our different colours in now. A lovely yellow with a touch of black, plenty of oil. Now you can see while you put the dark along there, it makes the whites or the lights show up. A bit of red in there, a bit of white, plenty of medium. Keep things soft. Right, now we want some shadows in there. I'm not sure if I can do this in one go. Might have to do it in two parts. Let this dry off a bit. But if I do, you won't really know because I won't upload one without the other ready to upload at the same time or immediately after. Right, now blue and red, medium, white. This would be a sort of a shadow colour. Get some dark in there now. So that we can get some lovely light greens and different colours on there. Oops, bit of white, bit of rogue colour there. Okay. So there's quite a bit of atmosphere in there now. It's a backdrop to our trees that we're hopefully going to put in, but we've got to get in some of this colour. Now, here's a brush that's all getting going a bit feathery, so that would be a good brush for doing the grasses and stuff. Plenty of white. I could do with my support being higher now. Some of that shadow is shining through. Oh, let's get some nice reddy greens. I'm never that worried about being accurate with my colours. Rather, I prefer atmosphere and a sort of abstracty, impressionist feel. Right. Greens now. Yeah, I'm going to have to raise this up. I can't get the brush low enough. So let's just lift the camera up and lift the board up. That's better. Okay. There we go. Right, so now I can tamp away quite merrily. I just keep banging away till it looks good. Add some darks. Just some flicks that we can blend. Just give that gentle undulation or a gentle transition from light to darker. You'll see what I mean in a minute when I start banging it. Right, okay. These take a while. Masterpieces take a little longer. clean my brushes at the end. I just use the cloth just to wipe off as much of the oil paint as I can. I haven't drunk my tea. Okay, now we want some of that light now, in the light from the sky on that field. So I'm using that cad yellow deep. What you put on stays on it. It doesn't disappear into another colour. It stays on top of what's underneath, which is lovely. Ah, we haven't even thought about the main event, have we? The trees. What you don't really want is the oil actually running down the paper, but that is part of the course really. There's no risk of his venomous. He used mainly one brush, a battered old brush, and the oil was just running down the canvas. But he was setting off the easel. Right, let's have some wildflowers in there, like poppies, of course. I want to brighten that yellow, the red with the yellow, make it more of an orange. Not that orange. Every little helps. Just texture in the foreground with lovely poppies. Try not to make patterns. Easier said than done, but you don't need to do portraits of them. Just a suggestion. Now we want some I'll let that dry off a bit. Uh, what we want to do now is to go back to see our trees, our oak trees. Now, where will we put them? We don't want them too big, so we'll have them coming up from here maybe. Doesn't matter if I go over some of this. So I want some dark green. was taking. Put a bit of red with that. Now some light in there, so let's put it in. Okay, we won't push our luck with that. We need now to get in some really good darks there, so dark green. Right, I want a rigger with some description. So where's my rigger gone? Oh, why do I always lose things? I found one. It's my grey hand. See. Oops. Now I can't find it. Just the mess I'm working on. Also the camera again. Oh, that's all right. Right, now I need my marl stick. So I'll put another, or I'll move a clip. Oh, that might be right. Okay, so oil dark green. Trouble is, I'm looking at the screen. I'll have to move that down a bit to do that. Right, nearly there. Right, that'll do for a minute. Let's put that to one side, clean the brush, and we'll go back with some more texture now in the leaves. So we'll get some really bright greens. And now the darks, nearly there. That one I might just, well, I didn't really think I was going to get that far. I just want the darks in there, if I can get some of the brush. You need the darks to get your lights. It's a bit better. We can get some nice light greens over that now. So let's get the black out the brush here. And the lovely bit of yellow. Very yellow, green. Right, okay, well we've got plenty of shadow in there. I'll probably have to work on it later, but let's just put in a couple of smaller trees, smaller. Just a more distant one. Just get that tree shape. So all this with a very, very limited palette. It's dark in there. Bit of red and a bit of black. Bit of oil. Not dark enough. Okay, but let's just put a bit of tracery on there. And then I can just put in a bit of light over that, light greens, and maybe a bit of a something on that side just to balance it. And let's have a look at the trees. Bear in mind that this board is soaking wet with oil. That'll do. Right. Let's. Where's my nice little brush? Using. I've lost it now. Put in some that dark back. No, I don't like that now. I've ruined that, I think. Right, well, that's a rectify it. Getting a bit of light. That's not so bad. No, I've lost the light in that. Putting some light back. I'm going to state some of that. Right, now I've got to try and put some twiggy stuff back in that. I'm persevering to the end, as you can see. Put that down. Well, nearly there as far as I can go. I'll just move that. So I'll put that flat there. I'm going to put this in a mount in a minute. In fact, I'll put it in a mount now because then I can finish it in the mount. And if you're bored with it, you can always fast forward through. Right, okay, a bit of masking tape on the corners. I want to put a little bit of detail in there, just to balance that up. I can't believe it. I put my masking tape down. I can't find it. That is incredible. Oh, look right in front of my eyes. I think it's on wearing reading glasses. It seems to, I don't know. Age is getting old. Let's put a blue mount on it. Put one at the top, I think, just to keep it flat on the board. Oh, hang on a second. Okay, so that looks okay. So let's just put in just to block it. I'm reasonably pleased with that. It's not that I'm working on watercolour where it's dry. We're working wet into wet, and that makes it very difficult. But I want to just brighten that up a bit. So we'll get this nice light. Okay, well there we are. So we've got some oak trees in a field. Oaks in a field. I think the sky is okay. The whole painting is quite thin in paint, but it's got a nice atmosphere to it. I hope you like that, folks. If you don't, no doubt you'll tell me. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.